Hey, second graders. Today's lesson is titled, Is it a mountain or a hill? So I want to start this podcast by asking you to close your eyes for a moment. Think about our school. Where is Hiller's school located? That's right. It's at the top of a hill. But are you sure it's a hill? Maybe it's a mountain, but maybe it's a hill. I think we need to find out the difference between a mountain and a hill. So in this lesson today, we're going to learn about other landforms, as well as mountains and hills, and bodies of water. But first, we're going to begin by defining the word geography. What is geography? Well, the word geography means the study of Earth, and a person who studies Earth is a geographer. We have been transformed into geographers throughout the course of this unit because we have been studying Earth. Now, the Earth is made up of all different features. The shapes of the land is called landforms. And there are many kinds of landforms that all have characteristics to make them different from one another. Mountains are the tallest of all the landforms. They are steep and they have many peaks, and oftentimes at the top of the mountains, if they're high enough, it snows a lot. Hills are shorter than mountains, and at the top of hills, there are usually rounded tops instead of jagged, steep peaks. That is our answer to my original question. That explains why Hillers is at the top of a hill. It gets very round at the top of the street where Hillers is located, so we know it's not a mountain, but a hill. But those aren't the only kinds of landforms that we can find on Earth. A valley is a lower, flatter land found between mountains and hills. Sometimes valleys have smaller hills as well, but usually they're a flatter area. Plains are large areas of flat land where there are no hills or mountains. Here in the United States, much of the central part of the USA is made of plains known as the Great Plains. And in the Great Plains, that's where most of the farming is done. The last landform that we need to learn about is called a plateau. A plateau is a plain at the top of a hill. Now, paint a picture in your mind of a table. A table has sides, and at the top of it is a flat surface. That's like a plateau. Earth isn't just made of landforms, though. In fact, most of Earth is actually covered in water. There are many types of bodies of water that we can find on Earth. We've already learned about oceans. We know that oceans are salt water and cover over 70% of the Earth's surface. Well, most of the other bodies of water that are found on Earth are actually freshwater, meaning there is no salt in those bodies of water. Rivers are long and flowing, often moving fast. When you get to the end of a river, it usually empties out into either another river or a sea or an ocean, something different than the river that it starts in. Streams and brooks are kind of like little rivers that also flow, but they don't usually move as fast as regular big rivers. Then we have lakes and ponds as well. Lakes and ponds are bodies of water that are surrounded by land. Water might flow into them, but the water found in lakes and ponds usually stays right where it is. Now, rivers and streams and brooks and lakes and ponds, they all have fresh water. However, there's one exception that is very famous, and that's called the Great Salt Lake, and that's located in the state of Utah. That's a very salty lake. But other than that, most lakes are freshwater. Now, there are some landforms that meet bodies of water to form something that's a little different than a typical landform. One is a coast. A coast is the place where the land and the ocean meet. Think about the beach. That's a coast. An island is a piece of land that is surrounded completely by water on all sides. Australia is an island. So is the state of Hawaii. And if you want to think about something closer to home, you can think about Long Beach Island down the shore or Long Island in New York. Those are all different islands. A peninsula is a landform surrounded by water on all sides but one. Florida is a very famous peninsula that most people are able to recognize. Now, I want you to think again. Close your eyes. What kinds of landforms or bodies of water would you like to visit? And that is where I'm going to leave you today, second graders. Have a wonderful day.